The Lakers sold for $10 billion. $10 billion. And let me be real clear. All you're buying is a brand. You're not really buying the personnel. I don't think Jeannie Buss is going to hang out. I don't think that you're going to get much input from anybody that used to be there previously, be it Magic, be it whoever it may be. You are getting just the brand. And you're not even getting land. They lease to play in whatever it is, crypto arena. What would Tennessee be worth? Give us an update on our poll question. Let's reset that because I have an idea of what Tennessee might be worth.
So the poll question of this one, should Tennessee spend all of its $20.5 million on non-revenue sports? Yes, NIL will take care of itself was 45%. No, only football matters was 55%. Now this one you're talking about. Tennessee, how much is Tennessee worth? And how much could Tennessee how much is Tennessee football worth? And we'll say 100 million, a billion, 10 billion, or 50 billion.
Okay, let's be real clear because you're not getting the entire university. You're not even getting the entire athletic department. But let's say you are getting wherever football primarily resides. So you're getting 3 practice fields. You're getting prime dorm space that the university could sell for a ton of money. You're obviously getting the stadium. What were the numbers again?
I threw in 100 million, a billion, 10 billion, and 50 billion.
I feel like with the land, it's easy. Maybe somebody out there that's a real estate person could help us. Also, we're looking for a real estate partner here at Off the Hook Sports, so feel free and jump in, and maybe you can be a part of the program on a regular basis. But I am, gosh, Caleb, I feel silly saying the top one, but I'll say the next to top one. What was the next to top one?
The next to top one was 10 billion, which is what the Lakers were valued at.
But with no land. You know, if the Lakers owned any piece of property in LA, they'd probably be worth 20 billion.
What you also have to remember is a lot of think about it from this way too, though. And this is where it's a little tricky. Basketball owners are typically owners out of hobby, not for return on investment. It's not like football. You know what I mean? Like most basketball owners, it's a hobby. It's kind of the same way Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys in '89. It's a show-offy move more than anything to buy a basketball team. It's not like most, NFL teams you buy for a return on investment. And NBA teams you're buying to just show off to say you're a team owner. And a lot of them will overpay and overspend for that. And so, I mean, we're talking about the Dodgers owners overspending because he wants to say he's the Lakers owner and he wants to see the Lakers win, and he doesn't mind losing money to watch the Lakers win, basically, in basketball. So
he owns the Dodgers too, and he's doing that. So
he's opening up checkbooks for the Dodgers. He's just buying World Series titles more than your Yankees even are now. Dodgers spend more than the Yankees do. But
I don't have a problem with that. If you got something that's worth that much money, you should spend money on it.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is I don't know if the Lakers are actually worth $10 billion. I'm pretty sure they aren't. But yeah, I think Tennessee, like if you were trying to buy Tennessee and you were thinking specifically profit and return on investment.
Oh, I see your point. Okay. All right. I see your point. I agree with you. I don't think there's any question that number got inflated in the reporting so that owner felt better about his maybe lacking something. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying that. I mean, I think to him, 9.5 billion sounds a lot different than 10 billion, don't you?
Oh, totally agree. Totally agree.
That's not $500,000 difference. That's billions to him and his ego. That's billions.
And I mean, just publicly traded franchises in general, publicly traded assets in the stock market. I mean, the whole thing you try to do is you try to overinflate those assets for shareholders, and then you try to undervalue them for the IRS. Everybody does it, So That's how life is. I try to undervalue my house for the IRS, but I try to overvalue it on the market if I'm ever putting it on the market. So, yeah, I think I think Tennessee football as a program by itself would actually. I think you might get a return on investment if you spent 10 billion buying it, and then because you're right, it would
You could sell the land and make 10 billion tomorrow.
exactly. If you bought Tennessee and then you bought Neyland Stadium, you could use Neyland Stadium for way more than just 7 football games a year, which by itself gets you $100 million.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you would whoever bought it would throw out the sanctity of don't mess up the venue because it's Neyland Stadium. You'd have concerts all the time.
all the time, all the time. I mean, Morgan
You
Wallen would be there once a year.
have to have a special connection nowadays to do it. You got to be Morgan Wallen or Kenny Chesney or something like that.
Yeah,
Jackson, that was a weird one. I went to that one, by the way, when I was 13.
really? Did he take you home?
He did not. I was too old. But now, Caleb, I think they could make it back on the land. I think though this speaks to maybe the brand. How do you compare the brand of an SEC school compared to the Lakers? I can tell you this. I do happen to be a big Dan Patrick show fan. I listen to it after the show. Please don't ever listen to it during the show. It's not that good. You wouldn't even like it. It's on at the same time. Don't listen to it. I'm just kidding. But I will tell you this, that their number one that they talk about is the NFL, right? That's everybody's
Right.
number. They're number two because they're a morning show in LA because they're on 9 to noon. So they're on 6 to 9. So their number two is NBA. Oftentimes, probably a little bit to the detriment of the show, the Lakers. But I will say this, and they're studying this. This is what they do. If they say that quarterfinal hockey is getting an incredible 1,000 share on TV, that's what they're going to talk about. College football is right there. I mean, it's on a national show, man. It is right there. So if you had asked me 10 years ago, how would I compare a value between the Lakers brand and University of Tennessee Tennessee's brand, I would say it's nowhere close. But because of the elevation, Tennessee got some stability. I think you would agree college football is elevated. I think the brands are fairly close.
Yeah, no, I think they very much are. And I think the thing about a brand like Tennessee, and this is what's underrated about a college football brand, it's heavily regionalized, so you don't know, so it doesn't seem like it's worth more, but the regionalization of it, the people in that region love it so much more than the masses love the Lakers. Does that make sense?
And you're not going to lose them. I mean, because
Right.
you can't move. You can't up and move to Chattanooga.
Right. A good comparison, I say, and a lot of people always get shocked by this. You always hear these artists, Dave, and I'm sure you have. You hear these artists that they're always on the radio. They always have top 5 singles, and you just can't not hear them on the radio.
Yes.
All the time. And then there will be an artist that maybe has one top 40 single in his life. But that artist with the one top 40 single actually sells more albums than the artist on the radio all the time. Because that artist that just has one top 40 hit has a huge, loyal fan following. And the radio artist is just people just like the songs on the radio, but they're never going to go buy their albums. You see what I'm saying?
This is going to make me sound really old, but I probably bought 4 or 5 of the Creedence Clearwater Greatest Hits albums because I would wear the CD out when I was traveling a lot. And they always had them for sale. And they always had Creedence. Always had Creedence right next to the register. So you could always buy that. So, yeah, you are loyal. And Tennessee can't move. But I've often wondered if they moved to Nashville, I mean, what would that mean for the average fan? I'm sure there would be a ton of upheaval. But you might have some fans that stuck with them. I don't know. But I think that's the one thing that I do think college football has going for it in college sports. But be careful with that because I thought NASCAR had the same thing. And then we've talked about it through the car of tomorrow, the managing of egos, the dumb playoff. They did pretty much destroy that sport. I don't know about you, but I'm surprised when I see an advertisement for NASCAR on Prime. I really am. When I see Dale Earnhardt Jr., I'm like, whoa, there's a commercial for NASCAR.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. NASCAR, you can't just solely rely on your loyal fans. NASCAR, what they did, they were And I do worry that college football is doing this. They're relying on loyal fans, and they're not doing moves to bring in new fans of a younger generation. Because I've said this for a long time. If you make college football the minor league of the NFL, well, hell, how does minor league baseball do right now? Not that well. College football does well because it's different. It's unique from the NFL completely. This is why I oppose the playoff. I oppose the super conference. I oppose all of these things because it's taking away from what the specific things that made college football great and unique. And I'm warning everybody about this. And I do fear that if we're talking about this now, Tennessee being valued at, say, $10 billion, as we said, will they be in 50 years or 100 years? Okay, inflation maybe, but $10 billion adjusted for inflation? I don't know. Is college football going the way of NASCAR and the way horse racing went in the 1950s?
Well, I mean, listen, things change and we get caught in the moment and we don't believe that. But the three biggest sports in the 50s, it was baseball, boxing, and horse racing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, and a lot of those things, I do think that college football and the NFL have a built-in advantage that you're starting to see actually help the NBA out. A lot of people are watching highlights, so that's why the NBA's exposure is up, even though the television ratings aren't that up. TV is a rectangular medium, which I think always lends itself to the game of football, right?
Yes, always.
So, I mean, they're always going to win that, and with the college people, they're always going to have a tug at their hearts. And the NFL just seems like the animal you can't beat. It doesn't seem like it's got athletes beating women. It's got all kinds of crazy going in. They just keep rolling on.
Yeah,
nobody talks about Joe Mixon when he runs for a 57-yard touchdown with 2 spins and a hurdle.
No, but Oklahoma had to move on from Bob Stoops because of that. They had to have a mutual agreement for Bob Stoops to retire. So it can affect your college to a certain degree. You're right. NFL, no one cares. But it does somewhat have an impact. I mean, you see this, like just one of the random things, like you see coaches in college football retire ahead of changing times. You don't really see coaches in the NFL retire because the game is changing. They retire or they're usually just fired. But you saw, I've told you guys this before. You saw Tom Osborne retire right as Nebraska was getting the roster, right as the roster limits were getting put in place with the Big 12, because he knew Nebraska wouldn't be able to win anymore.
Tennessee with a big recruiting weekend. Want to get to that. Again, though, that was our discussion brought to you by our fantastic friends at Rick Terry and Rick Terry Jewelry Design. What would Tennessee be worth if they sold? I'm going to say over $10 billion. Maybe I'm crazy. Am I crazy with the land?
No, I think I'm going right at $10 billion. I'm going right at $10 billion.
Does say something still about the Lakers, though, that they're just a brand. What the H? Brought to you by Rick Terry Jewelry Design.
Having been in the jewelry industry for a long time in the Knoxville community, I saw a need for a jeweler, a real jeweler.
Our ability to do these designs has really been based on the customers bringing new things in and challenging us as a store. Our goal is not to tell anybody what they want. Our goal is to listen to what they want and then help them get there.
Schedule your consultation today to get your special someone the perfect custom gift just in time for the holidays.